every song is like completely different, like a person is. How you would relate to somebody else when you see them. How you just find out about each other and talk to each other is different from one friend to another. It's the same with writing songs. For me, I don't have a formula. At a certain point, I make maps, sonic maps in my head of them, so I can see their shape. Each one has a sonic shape. And then I can visualize it once I crawl into it. And yeah, on one level, I guess it's very technical, and on another level, it's about translating a being, a creature that isn't you or me, because it's not three-dimensional, but it is alive on some level. I feel like I'm doing a sci-fi thing, invasion of the bodies, not just it's alive. But yeah, the songs are alive, and I think a lot of songwriters who aren't completely egomaniacs would tell you the same thing. Sometimes you really have to try things that you wince over when you look at it again. But unless you tried it, sometimes you don't know, even though it's obvious, but sometimes you just say, okay, I have to take the song in this direction for a minute. And give yourself the freedom to try. You can't have the, the figure skating judges sitting around you when you're writing songs, when you're developing them. I mean, in the end, fine. But, you know, I'm always waiting for that judge. It has to work within itself. It has to know who it is. Whether it's a short story or a poem or whatever its form is, the song must, first of all, be clear on who she is, and then maybe I'm not clear on it until it's finished. But it's always about something working within itself. Not does this work for this person that will never understand this kind of form. I don't write by committee. It's not a democratic process, because it's about serving. It's about serving and translating another existing form. We knew from the beginning that we wanted to. I had photographs that I placed everywhere from Manuel Alvarez Bravo, and I had them everywhere, and I knew that I really, when you heard it, I wanted it to look like that. These photographs were taken in the 30s, Central America, reflecting its political upheaval at that time, and the artist there, and the romance there, and the passion, all those things that make up a good story. And so I showed it to the sound engineers and the musicians. And we began to see that it was a bit of that. It was a bit of Steve McQueen and Ally McGraw together. And so those were, I had visual touchstones. And it became very much a nostalgic kind of sounding record. Rumors by Fleetwood Mac also being sonically a touchstone. I think, say, George O'Keeffe, that she was persistent, and her whole life was the walk. And I guess sometimes she felt she got it wrong, but it was a walk. She had her own soul blueprint that she spent her life trying to find out and create with until she died. And as an old woman, still a very powerful, more powerful maybe in some ways, force. Sylvia Plath, quite the opposite, as we know, who didn't live long and become an old woman, but was able to reach into something that a lot of us don't know how to access and pull us with her.